choose TSM FDX then?
I am an unbiased analyst. I would prefer to play TSM's lineup, I think. Just because I have a lot of faith in this Furion hero with like the right tools around him.
You
In a
didn't
game
seem super hyped about Carry Pudge, though.
I wasn't, just because it didn't seem crazy good this game. The more I look at it, though, I feel like they're going to get away with it. Just because it's like this double melee offlane with a tiny, and they have a warlock. So you just bonds them, and then, like, it's like, good luck.
Yeah.
And I think Pudge would... I'm assuming he'll go Vanguard this game. Maybe he doesn't. But whatever he goes, early tanky item, he's going to be pretty tanky. Like, not a lot's cutting through him this game. Outside of the Lifestealer going to town with some Dazzle minus armor. And there's a lot of team fight. I mean, you have Dawnbreaker Warlock behind him, so... I think they did a good job of making... like, rounding out their lineup with these last two picks. Making sure they don't fall behind in the tempo map control type area, and that's my concern with the Pudge Beastmaster lineup. Or matchup.
Yeah, I think, I mean, when it comes to lane, Flesh Sheep, Beastmaster is multiple instances of damage. So I think Flesh Sheep becomes pretty value. You get a Shadow Word. I really don't think you can be threatened too much. They've got combination of Shadow Word, Heal, Chaotic Offering, and the Dawnbreaker Ultimate. If they ever try and turn and go on the Pudge, that feels like some pretty strong team fight to me. I don't know. I feel like I agree with you. I think they set up this carry Pudge for success.
Holy smokerinos, bros. That was epic.
And if they can win that initial fight, then you're just free to chase down extra heroes from there, right? It's like Dawnbreaker, Nyx Assassin are good chase heroes. Maybe there's a good upheaval to catch an extra hero as well once the team fight's broken. You know, it's I could definitely see a situation where the overwhelming strength of Pudge when he gets Aghanim Scepter just breaks Quincy crew, and then it's just a free for all for how many heroes can you catch at that point.
I can see as well. I can also see a world where this Beastmaster goes ham with the limited interaction with the summons they have. Like, that's the downside of... I mean, there's a reason Quincy picked this beast. And part of it was they saw Nyx Warlock support duo. These two supports don't really do anything to him in terms of interacting with the Helm of the Overlord or the Boars. So Quincy forces the right matchups on the map. And they get, like, proper skirmishes going with this Puck Beast combining with the faster... I would argue Tiny Dazzle's a bit faster than Nyx Warlock. You know, if they can get some of this going, get some level advantage, I could see them snowballing through the Puck Beast and putting themselves in a decent position.
Yeah. For me, it's the Puck for Quincy crew. I feel like this is a game Quinn... I mean, he's put into position. He's playing Puck, one of the most OP mids of the game right now. And the battle begins. Also after kind of what was a rough game 2 for him. So... And I also think this is, like, not a free Puck game, but a game where he can set up a lot of kills. Like, Puck Tiny running around, killing things. These Warlock and Nyx Assassin, Nature's Prophet aren't going to have, like, the immediate response to them, so...
You can definitely go ham. You can also win the rune battles first on with Orb.
Yeah, it's true.
So this is a game where he, in theory, can get pretty reliable power runes.
I like it always comes back to runes for you with Quinn.
I mean, they're really strong, and especially on a hero like Puck. If you're looking for this Puck to build the tempo for this game and kind of put Quincy in a good position going into that 15-minute mark, power runes are the best way to give him the chance to do that, right? That's why I think about it.
Yeah.
And Quinn's a player who likes to do those things, so it's also very useful for him. It's not that he always needs them, but he's a player that will take advantage of them a lot more than maybe other mids that are farm heavy. So that's why I think about it, you know? Power runes are called power runes for a reason, Cap. They're not called...
weak runes?
Wilting runes, you know?
What?
I say that and, what?
I mean, the level 1 interaction went really poorly for Quinn. He was trying to get the range creep, and he got hammered and took a ton of damage off of it, but I did not expect an early first blood. Bryle. I mean, he's shown up today in this series, I feel like.
And this is the abuse you can do to Puck, right? You have huge base damage advantage, huge armor advantage. Puck has 1 armor. These physical heroes destroy him in the early waves. This is the downside of this hero, and Brile is taking him to town, man.
Yeah, and with that early first blood gold that he gets, he's going to be able to get the bottle and a stick coming in his way, so he's going to be able to get the mana regen to continue. I mean, that's a big problem for Dawnbreaker, right? As you, like, your combos are strong, but you run out of mana pretty quickly. But thanks to the sustain offered by an early bottle and wand, he's going to feel pretty good keeping the pressure up on Quinn.
Even if he just free farms the lane, I think he feels pretty good, you know? Especially with faster level 6 he's going to get. The faster level 6 can have a huge impact on one of the side lanes as well. So it's very impactful first blood and a solo kill on top of it. Meanwhile, these side lanes are really going great for Quincy. As Furion's free farming, as he probably will no matter what. Nyx is just messing around with him. And bottom, again, double melee offlane for Quincy. They're pulling. Anytime you're pulling this much, the enemy carry is going to free farm 100%, and your beast is going to miss some XP, and definitely miss some CS. He's feeling it. Tomato's doubling him up, already to a ring of health. He's hooking creeps.
Yep, that's the bonus farm that a Pudge gets, whether it's mid lane or carry. You're just able to go into the jungle, whether it's rot flesh heap on a stack or it's individual hooks for hard camp creeps. You're always going to have that like little extra experience bonus.
Or pulls. There's a small camp up though.
A little awkward.
Dubu's happy about that one. He's like, alright, more XP for me. Tomato can even drag this over.
Yeah, I thought Tomato was going to drag the wave over to meet because they want to clash. They actually want to fight Quincy Crew as much as possible, right?
He's thinking about it. Holding it in front is always a fine option, though, because you'll just guarantee the wave stuck there then. So, like, holding the wave is never bad. You can drag it if you think you can zone them off the jungle clash that happens.
Yeah.
They might just not have felt that was the case, which I think is fair when you have Warlock Pudge. But he's going to get, you know, full creep equilibrium here. Lazelle's pretty sad right now.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, even though he did get that early helm. Not much you could... I mean, I feel like Pudge, when it comes to these early helm offlaners, the extra tankiness doesn't matter, you know? Because Pudge just doesn't run out of damage. If the lane is long, he could just keep running you down with Rot.
That's nice. This hero gets free farm, he's scary. And he is free farming.
Top lane, a little bit of a clash. They're going to go for it with the Dawnbreaker ultimate, but Fada...
early ult.
Really good job, quickly cutting through that. Now he's still going to die, but he did manage to get off the poison touch, at least, before he dies.
I mean, this is a level 6 Dawn ulting on a level 3 lifestealer. That is how much that solo kill made a difference. Like, it wasn't ideal for them in terms of... I think they really wanted lifestealer, but they'll take the freebie in. Dubu. My man.
Yeah, looks like he got tossed back by MSS underneath the tower, too, at that. So, very awkward situation. It does leave Tomato alone. The toss back. He does have 12 magic wand charges, but no flesh heap, so awkward to fight when that's on cooldown.
That's a nice kill to pick up. Dubu's just not even going to go back to the lane. He's just going top. Doesn't feel he can have impact down here.
Okay. I don't know how much impact he can have here either, but...
You can help with the Furion push. I mean, these are Kata waves. They have a level 3 treants. Yawar cannot stay here. He's level 4. Fada fighting for the runes. I mean, Tomato can just hook the Kata bottom. There's no pressure here.
Yeah, and Quinn has already pushed in the wave and killed the enemy catapult, so... If it wasn't for that damage from Brile, I would say he could probably rotate with the 6-minute rune. Brile's going to try and secure it. It's bottom. Quinn gets it again.
Radiant's middle tower.
I mean, at some point, you just don't even bother, man. Just save the efficiency, you know. The man's a monster. What can you do? Meanwhile, top tower. Not long for this world.
No. The best you are could maybe get the deny. Both him and Fada try for it, but ultimately it doesn't land.
This lifestealer is going to have some catching up to do. That's for sure. And this Furion is, he's got an early 6 of his own. So now you have Furion ult up, you have Dawn ult up. A lot of global presence already online. And Moonmeander, he's done messing around.
A rundown that's also going to put some damage onto Yawar, kick him out of lane, and kill his support. Well, maybe he could still stick around. He's almost, well, he's 5.5. So there's actually going to be a decent amount of damage done to this tier 2 this early.
The power of these lane matchups they got. And like we said, I think the one lane that could have gone well for Quincy was mid, and that solo kill set Quinn back and put Bryle ahead. So they lost some snowball potential there too. So this is going to be a scary game for Quincy. They're going to have to make it up in this mid game here.
Vada caught again. TSM FTX just relentless on the pressure. Moon Meander leading the charge, killing the enemy captain over and over again.
Vada's having a rough one. There's no way around it. And Saberlight, he is Russian Orchid. This is designed to make Huck's life miserable.
Puck's life miserable. It also leads an opening to be able to catch the lifestealer. At any point in time, you could just teleport into the trees next to him wherever he's farming. And then, you know, from that tree, surprise him with the orchid.
Donald, clipping him.
Yep, gotta be able to catch him. Moon Meander, setting that up with the impale. Very nicely played.
That's going to be the even more annoying thing about this game for Quincy, is if they can find those small openings, there's always this Donald sitting there, ready to just counter-initiate the damage, because there's not a huge amount of damage coming out in this early game. Leslau's farming up some stacks. He's on, you know, mode to recovery here, in terms of XP. He does have his helm. The stacks will go a long way. We'll see if he can apply the pressure, though. I don't think this is a game where you want to just sit back and farm versus TSM lineup. A very scary lineup to sit back and farm against.
Well, I think they're about to hit their timing. I think Quinn just bought the Witchblade. He's been pretty adamant about finishing that item before he rotates. And now they're going to go for it. Smoke rotation. MSS and Quinn together going to run into Tomato.
He was already TPing.
Yeah, he knows. Is it going to be enough to save Tomato, though? The Flesh Heap has already been put on to cooldown. That is very awkward.
Boy,
they do have the Furion coming into play with a Vanguard, keeping him alive. The axes are going to come through, though. Quinn, got to be careful of the Dismember. It's coming up. Hook, hook, hook. Not going to be thrown just yet, and Tomato will eventually get burned down. The Primal War to finish him off. Now Saberlight's going to be up next. He gets run down by Leslau. Moon Meander goes to the TP out off of the Spike Carapace, and there is no stuns to stop him. Even though TSM FTX seemed to know about that rotation, it still goes wrong. It seems like Quinn, with the Witchblade timing, just was able to play it right. Gets a ton of damage out.
Otto just couldn't get any spells off. No hook, no dismember. Quinn played that sequence pretty much perfectly. Kited him out, silenced him out. Let the Witchblade do the work over time.
Yep.
Yeah, TSM had the right read. Just not enough gas in the tank, but
oh, the Dawnbreaker ultimate's gonna come in and stop Leslau from being able to TP away. So while, you know, he did manage to get that kill and a decent fight earlier, TSM FTX very quick to respond. They like to keep a fast pace, it seems, this game.
That's gonna be a hard death too, and the TP out, losing all his creeps. Has to walk from base as a Beastmaster. Might even just lose his offlane tower here. This is not the type of game progression you want for this hero. You can function from the aura buff standpoint. Maybe they can fall back on that. Not ideal, though.
I mean, how often do you see a Beastmaster lose his tower before he gets the enemy tower?
It's a bad sign. It's a bad sign. They're not super far behind. I just feel if you get out of the early game with Nyx Warlock, you're in a leading position. You've got to be pretty happy. Like, these are generally slow supports.
Nice catch.
Yeah, there's a Vendetta down.
Yeah, they were. I mean, that was kind of greedy of Moon Meander as it was. They were using the treants to block the camps. And so it made sense for Quincy Crew's side to be like looking for sentries blocking camps. They already had a couple of sentries laid out, so Moon just kind of walking into that area.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Unfortunate.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Still
attack.
some good info. Some info for his team. You know, you can always fall back on that with a Nyx death.
Radiant's bottom
I'm just making
tower
some
is
space,
under
guys.
attack.
You know, he wasted a bunch of sentries. It
Radiant
was a
structures
negative
are
GPM
fortified.
kill.
Yeah, now you loudly say there's 4 heroes right here. Don't worry, guys.
You gotta say that. You gotta say that.
Yeah. No.
The 4 heroes on their triangle for me, guys. With
Dire's
6
middle
sentries.
tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower
6
is under
centuries. I
attack.
like that.
Always some super high number, you know, that's what I would say. Well, this guy bought like 8 centuries, guys. Killed this game.
Nubu.
Radiant's
They
bottom
were going to
tower
set
is
up, and they might have been able to get the kill
Wow.
on Yawar, and they still might be able to, actually. He's going to infest inside of one of those Warpine Raiders, and Quinn comes in with 3-man quilt, 3-man silence as well with the double damage. He was able to finish up the Furion, gets enough space for Yawar to be able to get away. Now the Avalanche onto 2 as well, but Quinn has already taken so much damage from not just the Golem, but the Fatal Bonds as well. He's got to retreat. Despite the double damage, he is not able to get more.
Somehow Quincy walk out of that with a Furion kill? I guess that infest was a value infest and a half right there.
Yeah, seriously.
Dire's
Also
top
double
tower
damage
is
puck
under
coming in,
attack.
3-man coil, 3-man silence. Almost gets slapped down by the Warlock, but just enough to get out. Pretty big teamfight win for Quincy. Now the question is, can they hold the map versus Furion? Because Furion don't care.
Dire's
He don't care if he
structures are
dies. He doesn't
fortified.
care if his team uses spells. He can always just push the lanes in, push your towers, try and take more off the map. And still more stacking for Quincy. Where did these stacks come from, man?
I guess Mojo didn't really have a whole lot of plays, I guess, with mid lane being won so heavily by Bryle. Instead of trying to rotate into mid, he just stacked up constantly.
It's keeping him in this game, net worth-wise.
Oh yeah, it
Huge
is.
amount of gold off that. Like, this puck is pretty farm now. This is the Orchid Furion window as well. He rushed this. He really wants to get into these fights, Orchid this puck and kill him. That's the highest value target you can get. You can also Orchid this Dazzle to secure
Radiant's middle
no
tower
save coming
is
out.
under attack.
And of course,
Dire are scanning.
Another
a
one.
nice little haste.
They have this successful scan on Moon Meander, so Quinn was pretty quick to jump out of there as soon as he got the haste rune. Saberlight continues to keep the pressure up on the side lanes. This is just going to be an ever-increasing problem as the 15-minute mark is coming around the corner, so look for that shard pickup.
You know how that second game I was saying there's an alchemist in this game?
Yeah.
Well, it feels like it's that case, but there's a Pudge in this game. You know, Pudge is just quietly farming. Is Pudge as intimidating as Alchemist? I mean, Alchemist honestly didn't do much, but
Yeah, and I would say I'm not sure if I love the Pudge versus Lifestealer matchup in general, but I do think this is the way you play the Pudge. I think you do not get involved and you just get your Aghanim Scepter plus Vanguard or Hood, and then that's when you start going ham.
Radiant are scanning.
I agree. I just wonder if the in-game, if it feels like pressure, you know, this Quincy worry about this Pudge farming is Laslau will bite the bullet.
Good setup.
Another dawdle.
Pretty heavy amount of resources committed to be able to get that pick off, but Beastmaster kills I think are pretty value to get. Kill the boars, his creep as
Anytime
well.
you take him out, you feel good.
Yeah. Oh, H's Wrath heading up to the top lane. Moon Meander is not set up yet, though. Mojo seems to have an inkling of what was happening there, so he backs out.
He's gotten decent farm with Tiny. He's recognized there's just not that much playmaking to be done, so he's farmed it up. Soul Ring, spamming some waves. Pretty much up the blink in 20 gold.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Ooh, this is aggressive V-Ward.
They will manage to get it, and might be able to get MSS as well, but no, actually canceling that TP in. Now the Bryle's here, though. Saberlight will complete it to be able to get the kill on the Tiny, and they can turn this with the Golem into a mid-tower. I don't think Quincy Crew can stop that.
Oh, that tower was always dead.
Dire's
Yeah.
middle tower
just waiting to be collected. And now you got to think about this Roshan. TSM might just force it here with the Golem. Yeah. Dismember, a lot of damage. Desolator on this Dawn. That's what's really going to seal it here. This is not a contestable Roche by any means. Quincy's not even close. Even if they were, I don't think their heroes really function at fighting into the TSM ball lineup.
Yeah. All right, well, that means TSM FDX in just like 2 minutes, they're going to hit a huge timing where they have an Aegis on the Dawnbreaker with his Deso first build, and they're also going to have an Aghanim Scepter completed for the Pudge. And at that point in time, Quincy crew might just get run over. Whether they choose to fight and take team fights or not, they may just end up losing a bunch of towers.
Tower is under attack.
Or that Nyx Furion combo can go to work.
Dire's
Like you said, with the
structures
Dawn
are
ult on
fortified.
top of it, with how powerful this Dawn is. Quincy's going to have to really think about how they're playing the map here. Abuse the Beast Vision as much as you can. Abuse the summons. Get information. That's the name of the game.
Dire's
You can
top
find the
tower is
isolated
under
heroes.
attack.
You have decent pick-off damage. You can even play some Infest Bomb pucks.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Quinn's
under
trying to get
attack.
info here.
Yeah, and he
knows
does
this probably
see the
isn't a kill.
Dawnbreaker.
Gotta get careful of Nyx, though. Ooh, that was pretty close.
Yeah, he really pushed it to the last second, but
Dire's top tower
does
is
manage to
under
see,
attack.
okay, Nyx to complete his TP, they get out, they're going to farm their way back to their side of the map.
Tier 2 down top. The price you pay for information. The
Yeah.
greater treants, they do not care. They are greater than you, and they are greater than your buildings.
I can't believe they're still thinking about doing something
Dire's
after the
top tower is
rotations
under attack.
and the fact that this
Aegis
hero
Dawn.
has an Aegis. They're going to toss him back all the way back to Leslau. So really good position perhaps for this second life. Primal Roar going to be used on the Nyx assassin, bailed out
Save.
by Tomato with the hook, who's coming in with this Aghanim Scepter. This is a dangerous hero to be fighting into. And that's why Quinn and the rest of Quincy crew are going to keep their distance. They managed to disengage. Nobody caught just yet. Quinn, silence, jump away. The hook is going to be coming in soon. Nature's Prophet's going to get the information. They've got the Orchid. Self-Yules, a phase shift to dodge some damage. Can he jump away? He's into the river. He's out. MSS is going to be left behind, though. Wanted to make sure that Quinn got out. He might have been able to do just that with the Avalanche, but cannot save his own life.
I think Tomato wanted to hook him there, and it got blocked. A little miscommunication. Still, pretty decent Aegis burn and some time wasted.
Man, that was a close call. Quinn barely able to jump away once again.
This is the power of the puck. This hero is hard to catch, man. I'm sure every Dota player in the world knows the feeling of trying to stun this hero and failing and looking like a fool.
Are scanning.
Yeah. Even worse when he just turns around and kills you. You miss a stun.
And we don't talk about those. We don't talk about this.
That's fair, that's fair.
never
Enough
happened to me.
embarrassment going around today. Alright, Yuar's got Deso Armlet, so he is at a point where his single target damage is pretty scary. I do kind of want to see him try and lay into Pudge and see what that looks like. I have a feeling
It'll be
he's
interesting.
not there yet. But,
They might be there with the double damage puck, though.
yeah, the Moonmeander already down off of that Infest Bomb. Dubu Coil, Yule Scepter is going to be able to stop him from TPing out. So they get both the supports. A good start for Quincy crew as they try and reassert some map control against this Nature's Prophet.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Nice double support pickup. Nice little tiny Infest Bomb. They did lose a Rax.
Dire's top barracks.
Whoa, they did. Holy shit, they did.
Dire's top
So
towers
that's
are under
not
attack.
great. And
Oh, no.
that's why this Furion hero is really strong right now. Because these treants, I'm gonna just say it, they fuck shit up, Cap. They really do. There's
they
no
do.
other phrase that encapsulates it. These things are insane. And this is why we've seen this hero rise in popularity, why he's getting picked earlier, why people rush the shard.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much that deals with these greater treants this early in the game. 1600 HP, 100 damage.
Look,
Like,
look
who
at
wants
this
to go and kill these?
greater treant that gets Helma Domed, or a Helma the
I mean,
Overlorded.
it's a greater treant.
That is the raid boss treant. That is the treant that has that was born from a sprout and ate all the other treants.
He is the alpha treant.
Moon Meander, Dubu, and Tomato moving around a 3-man smoke. They've got 2 different global heroes, so this is effectively a 5-man gank. A toss over onto the Warlock to start things off. A hook gets him back into position, but Yuar is right next to him. Golem goes out. Now a grab from Tomato onto this Lifestealer. The backline is being interrupted as well. They've got the rage already done for. Yuar needs to be able to jump away. The invest in 1 more second, and he can't get it. 1 second off from being able to get away. The puck does a ton of damage. Nice impale. A 2-man impale onto the 2 supports of Quincy crew. It feels like Quinn was the only one able to throw some spells around in that fight.
He might get...
Dire's
Ooh,
middle
he's thinking about the
tower is under
teleport.
attack.
He was out of mana here.
Radiant's
Saberlight's looking.
middle tower
Hops
is
down.
under attack.
Saberlight not going to be able to guess correctly. I'm not sure if Quinn saw him TPing in, but either way.
Dire's bottom
Saberlight
tower
goes
is
right,
under attack.
Quinn goes left and does manage to live. I mean, he hit a huge coil silence, but there was no other spells being casted by Quincy crew.
Yar just can't man fight this Dawn Pudge. There's no way. His rage gets wasted by, you know, this Dismember. The Dawn comes in. He gets karate chopped by the Dawn Mommy with the Deso. He ain't fighting that back. And Quinn can do as much as he wants. At the end of the day, it's got to be Lifestealer winning these fights. That's a nice pickup, though.
Yeah, the very nice pickup. That'll, again, every single time they start getting pushed out of the riverside, they're kind of like just sitting on their side of the map. They get a couple of pickoffs. Last time it was 2 supports. This time it's the Nature's Prophet. Now they can get back out on the map again.
And it really is keeping them in this game. And they get a nice jungle D-ward off the back end, so keeping themselves in this game. I think it's still an uphill road.
Radiant structures
Still some work
are
to be done,
fortified.
but the foundation is being built to get this Lifestealer into that late game scenario where he can find the infest pickoff and turn the fight into a 5-on-4 off the back of the Beastmaster vision, get Puck into that crazy Puck territory where we see this hero just go absolutely ham.
It almost
it
kind of looks like to me off that last fight that he may just have to try and stay away from the Pudge. I mean, that Dismember particularly effective because he'd already popped the rage, but it looks like the Pudge is such a time killer for a Lifestealer.
He's a pretty big bait.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
There's a lot of damage that can come out from the rest of this TSM lineup, so you have to think about how long it's going to take you to commit on him. It's Moon.
Not able to get the blink
Aggressiveness.
impale. It is going to be caught. Oh, the hook back, but it hits Yuar instead. Yuar pulled into Dismember underneath the tier 2, and he is going to be slowed down. He doesn't have an infest to be able to get out of here. He can't get out. A 4-man spawn on top of that one, so not only is Yuar dead, but everybody trying to get out of this team fight is taking a ton of damage as well. MSS, nice blink backwards into the trees, does complete his TP. Leslau does not get caught. No blind hook. And Quinn sitting safely in the trees. That hook, though, catching Yuar. What a disaster for Quincy crew. Twice now
Oh,
for
it's
Yuar.
unlucky.
Yeah, it was.
I think he was trying to save his boy, and Yoar said, take me instead.
I think also Quinn face shifted the hook so it went through him
He might have, yeah.
and hit Yuar as well. I wish we had a replay of that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, Yoar pays the price. Otherwise, that might have been a decent fight for them. They got the Dawn kill right off the bat. Still had some resources up. No golem for that fight, or I think maybe they get stunned a little bit longer and die on the retreat. Still, 4-man bonds at the end. Not a lot of dispels for this bonds if it hits. That's a big thing Quincy have to think about.
Dire's
looking at
middle
Moon.
tower is
Yeah,
under
they're going to try and burst him down. Once again, going for the toss into the silence. This time around, though, Tomato was ready to go with the response. Does manage to get the hook
Carapace off.
onto the Tiny. They kill the support. MSS is going to be left behind, so 1-for-1 trade-off so far. But Yuar, he's going to
still
infest
alive.
to get out of here, and the Dawnbreaker is going to be able to blow up that creep super quickly. And look at Quinn. He tried to go for Saberlight, but Saberlight popped the BKB, turned around, beat some ass. Yuar, he's going to have maybe his own problems as Bryle just comes in. One shot. Oh, and Tomato nails the hook, too. Just the cherry on top of back-to-back-to-back team fight wins for TSM FDX. They are going to wipe Quincy crew, except for Leslau.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And a gem. Off the top.
Oh, never mind. They caught Leslau, too. There was still this ward sitting here from earlier, so.
Dire's
Yeah.
middle tower
That's a
has
good
fallen.
ward. doing a lot of work. That's what that gem was trying to do, get rid of the vision control in the Nyx so that they could actually play the map. Now it's getting into very difficult territory here. That was not a fight you could afford to lose if you're Quincy in terms of your map is disappearing, your buildings are disappearing. Chances at pushing yourself up into that finals drifting away here into the hands of this Furion Tricore that is not going to let up the pressure anytime soon.
TSM FTX. I mean, with EG not in this qualifier at all, they took themselves out. It does mean that TSM FTX are going to be able to regain their seat on the throne, at least temporarily, if they can manage to complete this series.
Holy heck, you broke.
Once again, feel like the top dogs of North America and head to a grand finals if they could just close out this game 3, which it looks like a pretty simple task to me, especially with the racks down and Nature's Prophet to your favor, but don't want to put Quincy Crew out of contention just yet.
I think if they convert on this Roshan, it's got to be a 90% win probability. I don't see Quincy fighting into an Aegis. Like, their lineup's just not designed to deal with that many lives. They have to be able to burst a target and take the numbers advantage. Well, the guy's sitting there with Aegis, you know, it's pretty hard. Just too much HP to burn through for this puck. He's going to get caught at some point. This Lifestealer is having a hard time fighting without Rage Up, and is having a hard time fighting with Rage Up, to be honest.
Yeah.
Pudge matchup did not look that great for him when the Pudge is ahead. He just sits there and eats him, and then what's up? And I think Quincy know that they give this Roshitz the game. I think this is the only call to make. They are too late.
So an Aegis already picked up for the Pudge. Looks like he also ate the Shard, as I don't think you would buy that on a carry Pudge, so.
It's a decent Shard this game too, to be honest.
Yeah.
Again, the single target burst focus from Quincy. If you eat the guy they go on, that just feels like the fight's over almost.
Double damage found. Quincy Crew gonna hole up inside of their base. Now, Saberlight is gonna keep up this little cheeky play.
This stuff is so annoying, man.
Yeah, just a bit.
The mental pressure that these treants provide.
Tomato. Yeah, managed to get the D ward. There's still the Hawk sitting on the high ground here. Quinn's gonna try and push out. Do what he can. It's a dangerous play, though, against this Orchid. He's gonna have to sell fuels to get it off. And then phase shift, and he's going to have to silence his own way over the side. The blink wasn't up just yet. Jumps away to the orb. He'll be okay. Mid lane, though. Golem dropped. Yawar doesn't get by that, but he gets hit by the Starbreaker instead. Yawar doesn't have another infest. Once again, he is just left behind by his team. Has nothing to be able to do. Bryle almost dies there. It actually gets saved by Tomato. He's inside of the Pudge. And as you said, once you get that one save, especially if it's on a core, it feels like the fight is over. Quinn does manage to get the kill on a Moon Meander, but then he comes back down to his own death. Votto barely gets away from a hook, but with 2 down, no buyback. That is going to be Megas.
Double damage Dawn shredding that backline with the blink.
Yeah.
Somehow lives through all of it, gets eaten, like you said. Saved. That's going to be the game. Man,
GG.
These Furion lineups, man, you lose like 1 or 2 fights, just feels like it's just too hard to find another one. He just forces you to split up. I mean, even that fight on the enemy outpost where they got the like the Nyx kill and the +1 or something, they just lose a range racks. It's like, all right, congratulations, you know? It's not even